nicely, carving up a space for himself. Carranza with his back to goal turns. Pisarro!
Are you kidding me?
It's stoppage time! They've done it again!
It's that man, Pisarro!
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to Miami Total Football. We're at Drive Pink Stadium, where just a few hours ago, Inter Miami got back to winning ways in dramatic fashion yet again here at home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And they did so with a 3-2 victory over the Chicago Fire. A last-gasp goal from Rololfo Pisarro in stoppage time gives Inter Miami a 3-2 win in a roller coaster affair. Inter Miami took the lead, gave up the lead, fell behind, tied the game, and then at the end pulls out the victory for the second straight match at home in stoppage time. So exciting finish, another good victory for Inter Miami, and there were plenty of smiles to go around afterwards.
When you talk about characteristics, identity of a team, we speak about fight, spirit, togetherness, bravery, a team that consistently scores in the last minute of the games, consistently fights right to the very end. The 96th, the 96th minute against Nashville is a team that makes me really proud.
Now, obviously, one of the biggest talking points after this one was Rololfo Pisarro, who not only scored the game winner in stoppage time, as I mentioned previously, but he scores his first goal for Inter Miami in 2021 with a clinical finish, a nice shot to the bottom right corner after a feed from Victor Ulloa, who continues to find subtle ways to make an impact and help set up goals as of late. But Pisarro was the biggest talking point in this one from an individual standpoint. He talked to the media after the game and finally shed a little bit more light as to why he hasn't been able to play to his best or deliver moments like this for much of this season. And he opened up and said, look, he's been missing his family and friends, that's impacted him. He also said he hasn't felt important within the team. So a lot of different things he opened up about and spoke about, but said that this game and this goal should help him regain that confidence and regain that feeling of importance that he has started to rediscover over the last 2-3 weeks.
Cualquier persona tiene problemas, cualquier persona sufre ahí desconfianza. Me afectó mucho que no tenía a mi familia, a mis amigos cerca. La confianza, a lo mejor a veces no confía en mí al 100, no me sentía importante.
And what we said in the dressing room after the game is that that boy suffered more than probably any other player in this football club in terms of not scoring, not assisting, probably not being totally 100% happy with his form or his fitness or myself or whatever. But the team believe in him, and I believe in him. I've never wavered on my belief for that boy, and his finish was world class.
Now, diving into the game a little bit, Inter Miami in this one, there's a lot of good, but there's also some bad. Now, let's start with the positives, because Inter Miami came out on top in this one, and that's that they showed resilience yet again. This marked the 4th time that Inter Miami has been able to come from behind to get a result, be it a draw or, in this case, a win. Inter Miami has now done that in 4 of their last 5 matches, showing quite a bit of resilience, showing kind of a never-say-die attitude that we did not see maybe against New York City FC that was missing there, that Phil Neville and Nick Marsman said that they needed to get back. But they showed it in this one because they come back from going down 2-1 after giving up the go-ahead goal early in the second half after a Blaise Matuidi turnover, a poor turnover from the experienced midfielder. But Inter Miami falls behind there, but they find a way back into the game. Robbie Robinson scores his 3rd of the season off of a nice feed from Gonzalo Iguain, a good long ball from Leandro Gonzalez Pires to help set that up. And Inter Miami's back into it, and then obviously they pull it out late. They pull a rabbit out of the hat, or a joker if you want to use Pizarro's nickname, a joker out of a hat. So Inter Miami showing some resilience, showing some more character and attitude, and that's pretty important, pretty notable, because they're going to need a lot of that to get out of the hole they're in. They're still in 12th place in the Eastern Conference, but they've shortened the gap. They're now 8 points shy of a playoff spot. And again, for Inter Miami, that's a bit of good news as they start the second half of the season.
We're starting to see some consistency, and the only way you can get that consistency is just to keep proving people wrong. And when you prove people wrong, it feels and tastes a lot better. And this team have got the bit between the teeth. The squad have got the bit between the teeth. They're fighting for each other.
Now I want to touch on the formation. Inter Miami came out in the 5-2-3. It went back to that look as we expected here on Miami Total Football, and it did so with a bit of different personnel. Indiana Vassilev started on the right wing, with Lewis Morgan dropping back to the right wing back spot in the setup. Robbie Robinson came back into the lineup on the left wing, despite Phil Neville throwing us for a loop there in the pregame press conference and saying that he didn't expect Robbie Robinson to start because he hadn't trained all that much with the team in recent days and weeks. But he got the start, and both Indiana Vassilev and Robbie Robinson score goals in this one. Lewis Morgan also looked pretty good there at that right wing back spot yet again. If you remember, in the last game against Nashville SC, Phil Neville's alteration, his in-game management, was to bring on Indiana Vassilev and put him at the right wing and drop Lewis Morgan to the right wing back spot, and that helped Inter Miami change the course of that game and pull out the victory, because they started to cause some problems for Nashville SC on the right wing. And here you saw a lot of similar things. Now, if you look at Indiana Vassilev's goal in the first half, it comes from a pretty direct counterattacking sequence in which Inter Miami gets the ball out of its defensive third, finds Lewis Morgan in a defensive area out on the wing, but he dribbles forward, hits an exquisite pass to Gonzalo Iguain. Gonzalo Iguain then takes advantage of the space that is there. He finds Robbie Robinson on the left. Robbie Robinson takes a shot. It's saved, but Indiana Vassilev shows the el olfato de goal, the nose for goal, and pushes home the rebound. So some good things from this formation, some good things from this new personnel look, and I think we will probably see more of that. Maybe this weekend we'll see some changes because it's the third game in 8 days or 7 days, but I think this might be the strongest lineup you could see from Inter Miami this season. I think this might be what Phil Neville settles on when he has everybody available and when he has everyone healthy, and he has one game on the agenda per week. So I think this could be the go-to formation to look at. Phil Neville touched on it after the match.
We went with a real attacking lineup. We went with I put the most goals in the team in terms of the front three. Indiana scored the last game. Gonzalo's our leading goal scorer. Robbie's a goal threat. And you look at the first goal, Robbie has the shot. I think Indiana he's probably the only player that probably would have been in that position to get the rebound, because he's got that knack of scoring goals and that smell. So we put as many goals on the pitch as possible.
Now, one more player I'd like to touch on with regard to the attack is Gonzalo Iguain. I think he showed well in this one, even though his name doesn't pop out at you on the stat sheet because he didn't score a goal, but he showed more fight, first of all, in terms of looking for 50-50s and putting in the effort. He also helped set up all three of Inter Miami's goals. As I mentioned before, he hits that ball out to Robinson that leads to the shot that ends up with the rebound for Indiana Vassilev. He gets the direct assist on Robbie Robinson's second half equalizer with a nice, exquisite cut-back pass to Robinson inside the penalty area that Robinson finishes off well with his right foot. And then Iguain, in stoppage time, puts the game on his feet. He takes the game into his own matters, dribbles by a couple of defenders, and then finds Victor Ulloa in the penalty area. Then that helps Victor Ulloa feed Rololfo Pisarro, and Pisarro finishes for the 3-2 win. Rololfo Pisarro will get some plaudits, as will Indiana Vassilev and Robbie Robinson, for getting on the score sheet. But again, for me, Gonzalo Iguain had a good game, and I think you see that with him setting up all three goals, or having a hand in all three goals. Something that Phil Neville touched on after the match by saying that Iguain was motivated and inspired because he saw his family before the game, and that gave him a very notable boost that Iguain told Neville about prior to the match.
I think what people don't understand, probably outside, probably sport or football in particular, is that these people are human beings. And Gonzalo's gone 8 months without seeing his little baby. He's gone 8 months without seeing his girlfriend, the love of his life. And yesterday they arrived in the country, and he saw his little baby for the first time. Now, I don't care how hard you are, how soft you are, that would give you a lift in life, or that would affect you if they're not involved in your everyday life. He said to me before the game that even just having a room in his house that was full of toys, that was messy, that was mucky, was something that inspired him, that made him so proud. I thought he was sensational. I've got to say, I thought he put in a team performance tonight that probably we've not seen in the past from him.
Now, if we're going to touch on some things that Inter Miami did not do as well in and that they need to improve on, I'm going to say it's set pieces. And I'm not talking about the attacking set pieces. I've already made my thoughts pretty clear on that here on Miami Total Football. Inter Miami doesn't score off of them. They were maybe a little bit more threatening today, showing a little bit more creativity in that regard, but still not there yet. But defending set pieces is starting to become a problem because this is the third game in the last 4 that Inter Miami has conceded off of a dead ball situation. And this time it happened 6 minutes after Indiana Vassilev gives Inter Miami the lead. Francisco Calvo nods home a corner kick at the near post, and Inter Miami is on level terms just like that and going into halftime. Now, they were able to claw their way back into this one and pull out the 3 points, but when they watch the game back, when they go to training for the rest of this week ahead of this weekend's match against Toronto FC, they'll want to look at that and try to address that because that is becoming a problem. But again, at the end of the day, they were able to get the 3 points in this one. By and large, this was a positive step in the right direction.
We've been working so hard on it. The penny's finally dropped about what successful teams need. And successful teams have those qualities of never giving up. And now it's about consistent behaviours, and what we're seeing is consistent behaviours.
But that about does it for now. What did you think of Inter Miami's 3-2 victory over the Chicago Fire? Are you still buzzing because you were in the stadium and you felt the excitement there of that 93rd minute goal from Rololfo Pisarro? Please let me know in the comments section below. Also, let me know what you thought of Neville's tactics and his lineup because, again, to reiterate, I think this lineup might be his preferred one going forward for much of the foreseeable future if everyone's healthy and available. Also, let me know about his in-game management because I didn't touch on this early in the video. I'll probably do so a bit more with Steve El Primo Brenner on the podcast, but Phil Neville changed the formation to a 5-2-1-2 in the second half, and that helped Inter Miami get back into this one with the equalizer. They had a striker tandem there. It led to the goal from Robbie Robinson, the equalizer from Robbie Robinson, and it also allowed Rololfo Pisarro at the 10 to score the winner. So let me know what you thought about Neville's lineup and his tactics. Also, let me know what you thought about Rololfo Pisarro and Gonzalo Iguain's performances. Did you think they both had really good games? Do you think it was only Pisarro and Gonzalo Iguain was so-so? Or vice versa? Again, let me know in the comments section below. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's late. We'll be back later this week, of course, to continue to review this game and analyze this match. Also preview the weekend match against Toronto FC, another opponent that Inter Miami needs 3 points against here at Drive Pink Stadium to continue to push towards a playoff spot. I am Franco Panizo. This is Miami Total Football. We'll talk to you guys again very, very soon.